The new year is a time to reset, regroup, and rethink the direction of our lives and the things that we want to accomplish within the next 365 days. So today I'm talking about the strategy that I use for choosing and shaping the one word that will help formulate my goals and my vision for the upcoming year. And then I will share with you my power word for 2022. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Nina Rodriguez, and this is my channel, Misfit to Teach, where I talk about all things teaching and how to stay physically and mentally and emotionally fit to teach. So if I haven't met you already, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you and I can come together every week. As an English teacher, few things interest me as much as words and using words, of course, for the transfer of information, but also for artistic expression. I've gotten to know a lot of words over the years, and that has really been very impactful to my career and my ability to express myself and to create my own written forms of art. So again, I really appreciate words and the value that they have for us in our language. When it's time for me to choose the one word that is going to shape and influence the rest of my year, there's a process that I try to follow because that word for me has to be really important and super relevant. So step one for me is I try to initiate this process by getting in a really calm, quiet place where I can have some time to reflect. And then I want to brainstorm and just come up with this unofficial list of words that interest me, words that and phrases that resonate with me. And I might find those things, those types of words and phrases in Bible verses, during meditation time, whatever it is I'm reading, something that I've heard in the news or just kind of circulating through social media. Also, if it helps your process, you might find it useful to ask other people what kind of words they would use to describe you or what kind of words come up when they think of you. Now, you want to be careful with that strategy because sometimes you might not like the answer that somebody may share with you, but generally you can expect that the people closest to you would be really helpful in describing you since they know you really well. Another thing that you can do, that I like to do, is I ask people that I'm close to what words really resonate with them. What are words that have special meaning for them? And hearing those explanations also influences my list as I'm going through to try to find the perfect word for me. Step two is once I have a list of about 5 to 10 words that I can see myself committing to for a year, I then go through and I like to break those words down even further. So I'll look at the dictionary definitions from several dictionaries, Oxford, Webster's, or even Urban Dictionary, what Google has for that definition, and so on, just so that I can figure out the consistencies and the key words that are used within the definition of that word. I also like to look at the etymology of that word, and that just means like the word origin, the culture, and the original language that it came from. And a thesaurus is also useful too because, of course, a thesaurus is going to give us synonyms and antonyms for that same word. So all I'm doing in step two is taking that one word and kind of bringing it to life a little bit and really allowing myself to research it and find how relevant it is to my life right now and to what I want my life to look like in the next year. So through this process, I'm able to start slashing and burning and dismiss words that aren't going to fit within the context of what I want my life to look like. And then that boils down the list to really about 2 or 3. Once I have my list narrowed down to 2 or 3 and I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to feel comfortable with choosing one, this is really where the notion of the future self, your future self, really starts to kick in. So in order to choose the right one, you want to ask yourself, what are the things you want to accomplish and achieve in this year? What are some things that are important to you, that matter, that you really want to overcome, that you want to execute on, and that you want to accomplish in the next 90 days, in the next 6 months, in the next 365 days. And if you need some further help on that, I created this video, which I will include in the cards here, but that is about a 90-day letter. And it is a really good strategy on how you can break your goals down into 90-day increments. But when we're talking about choosing this one word, you want to come from the perspective of your future self. What are the things that you want to achieve this year? How do you want to feel? And why are these goals important to you? Coming from this perspective and hearing yourself talk about that, you will start to figure out which of your 2 or 3 words is bubbling to the surface the most, which one is the most relevant to carrying out those actions that will bring you forth towards those goals. So come from the perspective of your future self, and then that'll bring you to the one word that is your power word for the year. It's also worth noting that your power word doesn't have to be optimistic or really positive in nature. There is a lot of beauty to be found in words that kind of lean towards pessimism or have some negative connotations to them. And this video actually does a really good job of highlighting that very idea. The idea that there's a lot of beauty and depth and great meaning to ordinary words, or words that under normal circumstances would seem kind of unappealing or even bad in a certain way. So please don't limit yourself to just optimistic, frou-frou, really frilly, positive energy types of words, because when we open ourselves up to the reality of a lot of other kinds of words and we're honest with ourselves, then we have many different really good and hyper relevant words to choose from that would do a really good job of helping to bring your goals to life. Are you getting inspired to choose your own power word yet? Leave me a comment below on what your power word is for this year, if you have one, and what your process was for choosing that word. Okay, let's continue. Step 3. Once I have chosen my power word for the year, I write it down in my notebook, and I like to surround it with a lot of really powerful quotes, Bible verses, illustrations. I'm not much of an artist, so drawing really isn't my thing. But if it helps you to enhance the meaning of this word for your life, then I highly encourage you to draw pictures or include pictures surrounding this word. Also, anything else that you feel might pair well to bring this word to life for you, and also to make it correlate better to your dreams and your goals for the year. All right, so you have seen my process, and now I'm going to share with you my power word for 2022. I chose this word because actually for a long time, I feel like I lived the opposite of that. I wasn't as into this notion as I probably should have been, and I find that when you live in the opposite direction, you spend most of your time actually living in survival mode, and we don't thrive, we don't challenge ourselves, and we don't grow from a place of survival. Instead, we are challenged and we learn and we thrive and we grow and stretch when we come from a place of give. So the word give really, really is important to me this year, because we get to our best life, we rise to the greatest heights, and we find our happiness and our fulfillment when we are being of service to others. There's an old saying that we rise by lifting others up. And I think that that's actually very, very true. When we come from a place of giving with no expectations for the outcome, and without asking anything in return, we sort of open an energy window in our lives where we're also receiving, because that's very much a two-edged sword. We can't receive when we aren't giving, because we block one end of that transaction. So I like the word give too, because it also has a couple different meanings. Give can mean, a transactionary thing, whereas one person is receiving something from someone else. But it also means to be a little bit flexible, some flexibility and less resistance to whatever it is that we're doing. So it's important, I think, to give a little bit when we're in tough situations. Never to change our goals, but rather to be comfortable with changing the strategy we're using to achieve our goals. We want to have a little bit of give when we're dealing with tough times, and we need to be flexible in our approach to difficult people and to difficult circumstances. So give is my word for this year, and I love it because it's in the giving that it puts us closer, in my opinion, to our fulfillment and satisfying our calling and living our best life. I hope you got something valuable out of our time together today. I really, really encourage you to have a power word for the year, and in the comments, please leave me your power word for this year, or how your process is for choosing a power word. I love hearing from you and knowing what you're doing in your personal journey as well as your teacher journey, to grow and to learn and to be challenged and to be overcomers. So thank you very much for watching, and please remember to do all you can to be fit to teach. Be well.